So today we're going to talk about a little bit about pesticide safety in your home. So now's the time when people are starting to get out, do more gardening, and do stuff out in their yard. And one of those things is spraying those pesky weeds out in your yard. So I want to talk a little bit about pesticide safety. The first thing we want to talk about is choosing the proper chemical. The first thing you want to do is make sure you pick the appropriate thing for the appropriate pest. Not everything is a pest, and not all pesticides are created equal. For example, not all pesticides are insecticides, but all insecticides are pesticides. Pesticides can be an insecticide, which kills insects. It can be a fungicide, which kills fungi, or a bactericide that kills bacteria, or a herbicide that kills weeds. The first thing we want to do is identify that pest and see what it is. I mean, you can do that through the extension office, through online sources. The best way to do it is go through the Clemson extension offices, and we can help you identify that pest problem. Now, let's say we've chosen our herbicides. We've got a weed problem out there, and we want to look at what we need to do. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to choose my herbicide. So today I've chosen this one. Now, by the way, we do not promote or not promote products. We are just simply using this as a prop today, so this is not an endorsement by Clemson University or myself. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I'm wearing my proper equipment. So the first thing I'm going to make sure I've got on is a good pair of chemical resistant gloves. These are not the same as the nitrile gloves, the exam gloves. These are designed to keep out pesticides and chemicals. Now, for homeowners, you can buy these on online sources from several different places. A lot of the big box stores are starting to carry them now. Some of your farm feed stores will start carrying them now. They come in different colors, obviously, but you want to make sure that you're putting them on correctly and you're wearing them at all times. One big reason is, I don't know if you can see this or not. See that? That is residue. Some of these things don't always hold their seal very well, and sometimes they can leak, so you need to be very careful. So the second thing I'm going to do, which I've kind of done before I started the video, was I'm going to read the label. If you do not understand the label, please call the extension office. We're more than happy to help you. The label is the law. You'll see statements on the label like, it is in violation of federal law to apply this product inconsistent with its labeling. That's because the label is technically the law that they can enforce if you misapply this product or if you misuse it. So you always want to read and understand everything about the label before you start working with it. It's also going to tell you how to store this product. It's going to tell you what to wear. So if it's going to tell you if I need to wear anything beyond gloves, it's going to tell you other information like first aid information if you were to accidentally get this on you, God forbid. It's going to tell you what to do, what precautions you should take to prevent this from getting in water sources, or from getting in or if it gets on non-targets, like if it gets on your shrubs. So the first thing we're going to do, like I said, we've read the label, and now we need to inspect some other things. Now, I don't know if I'm going to try and show you this. I have not gone on traditional shoes today. I've gone on boots that are designed to help keep that are waterproof. The reason for that is I want to make sure I'm not going to be absorbing any pesticides on my pant legs or on my boots as a step. You can certainly get these from different sources. You can go to farm supply stores and get mud boots or something like that you can wear, galoshes, and be sure you rinse them off after use. So the first step we're going to do, I'm actually going to be spraying a half gallon today. So we're going to start out by measuring out our water. Now, there's nothing really in this tank right now. We've cleaned it and we've also inspected it. This is a backpack sprayer. You can certainly use a 1 gallon hand pump sprayer, but if you're doing any kind of pesticide spraying at your house, you definitely want to get get a sprayer, a traditional sprayer. You don't want to use the in-hose sprayers. Not everybody's pressure is the same, and it's not going to be as consistent as with an actual sprayer. You also want to make sure that it's in good working condition, that there's no nozzle clogs, that it's working very well, that the straps work. So the first thing we're going to do, like I said, we're going to create some, we're going to put some water in here. And I've added a little color. so you can see it. So that's 32 ounces. And there's another 32. So that's my half gallon. So why did I measure that out? So you don't want to eyeball the gallon measurement. Now there are gallon measurements on here on the backpack sprayer itself, but I want to make sure it's precise, especially when I'm going below a gallon. So we all know that it takes 128 ounces to make 1 gallon. So I used two 32-ounce portions, made 64 ounces, which is half of 128. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to measure my pesticide. Now, sometimes they will have caps that measure it for you, but it's best to get a measuring cup. You can get measuring cups from online sources that are specifically for using pesticides. Please do not use food containers or food measuring cups to measure pesticides. That is a no-no. Please do not use that. Get a measuring cup specifically for measuring pesticides and label it and use it only for measuring pesticides. So the label rate on here says I'm supposed to use 2.5 ounces per gallon. So I'm only spraying a half a gallon, so it's going to be a little bit challenging to see this probably, but we're going to measure basically 1.25 ounces. So I've measured my 1.25 ounce, and I'm going to add it to the tank. I'm just going to give this a quick rinse, just to get the rest of that residue out of there. Now I'm going to seal the tank. Give that a gentle shake. So now the sprayer is ready to use. Now what I want to do is create pressure as I wear it, and actually create pressure and keep that pressure steady as I'm spraying. Now, one of the things you want to do is you want to have the sprayer sitting somewhere, especially if you're using a full 3-gallon load or at full capacity, to ease the weight. Now, I'm not going to spray on the ground because this has actual live pesticide in it. So I'm actually not going to be spraying this on this concrete because it can wash out into the roadway there. So as I spray, I'm going to turn off to the side so you can spray right here. As I'm spraying, I'm going to keep constant pressure. I'm actually spraying on my lawn in case you can't see it. So now we're done spraying. So now what we want to do is come back to our workstation and we want to clean the sprayer. Now I'm not going to bore you with the labor's process, showing that on camera. What we want to do is we want to take all the pressure off the sprayer, so we'd spray that out on our lawn until we get no more liquid coming out, and then we would rinse this with clean water. Now, the label tells us that we can use what's called rinseate on labeled sites. Now, what is rinseate? Rinseate is technically a legal term for now that I am done spraying and I'm rinsing this tank out with water. Now all that water that just comes in contact with that residue now becomes rinseate. So now, what can I do with that? I can't take it to a landfill. I can't dump it down the drain. I can't dump it in the ditch. I can use it on a labeled site, so I can use it on the lawn, so I can spray out that rinsate water on my grass, and I'm perfectly legal, perfectly safe. That's how to do it. Now, storage of the sprayer. You want to make sure that the sprayer is totally non-pressurized when you store it. You want to make sure all the pressure's off of it, there's no more liquid coming out, and it's not under pressure, because if it's under pressure, it can cause a lot of stress on the sprayer and make things go boom. Not a good thing. So now that I'm done spraying and I'm done cleaning the sprayer, now it's time to take my gloves off. So I'm going to set up my little station here. And I'm going to rinse my hands, rinse my gloves off. Then I'm going to take them off. I'm going to start with one hand and work my way. And if you recognize this is actually the way they're recommending doctors take off their gloves, their exam gloves. So then you would grab just right here and pull. Taking the gloves off like that. I would then go wash my hands with soap and water for at least 5 to 10 minutes to make sure all the pesticide residues off my hands. I want to thank you for watching this video. We'll look forward to making more great videos like this for you. Get out there and work in your yard. It's a great day to do it. It's nice and cool. So we hope you've enjoyed it. We hope you've learned something. And keep looking for more videos. Keep coming at us. We're still working from home, working to help serve the public. Send us your questions. God bless you. Have a good day.